Hey everyone, Vicky Waco back with you here again, and today's video is going to be a little different. On this channel, we usually talk about productivity and having a stress-free lifestyle, but today I'm going to get a little personal and talk about my journey to my life I have now, and specifically, especially, I think this is timely as we are getting closer to Thanksgiving. The role that charities have played in my life in ensuring that I could be here today. So let's get into it. So I'm titling this kind of story time, if you will, Tale of Three Food Banks, because it's the kind of journey my life took. So I grew up in poverty, and this video is not going to get into the causes of that poverty. It was poverty, what I will say, is a very, very complicated issue. And in some ways, the poverty was definitely connected to my mom's drug abuse issues, but it was really a lot of other things that all kind of collapsed on top of each other. So I just grew up not really understanding it, though. I think good or bad, I didn't really get how poor we were until I got older and could really realize it. And so that's where the story is going to come in. But I want to start by saying how grateful I am to the fact that there were nonprofit organizations and things in place to ensure that I could be as healthy as possible as a child. Opinions about what happened in my childhood can vary, but what I do believe is as a child, I really had no say in what I was raised in. And I'm just so grateful that there were institutions and things around to help me be happy and healthy, and also later on very holy in my life. So when I was probably around 5 years old is the first memory I have of being ever in a food bank, but I didn't know it was a food bank at that time. My mom and me went to this place, and I just remember having to sit in a chair a really long time. And then at some point, my mom got called into a room with a woman, and I'm assuming I was with her, but I don't really remember that conversation. I was only 5 again, but I do remember it was probably something about how many kids she had. I think she had paperwork with her. There was a form she filled out, but I remember there was a lot of like waiting. And this is like back before tablets or anything, so I just kind of had to sit there with her. And again, I didn't really understand why we were there. And then the woman came out and brought us into this room, and it was like shelves of food. It kind of just looked like a tiny grocery store in my mind. And my mom had bags and like went around and started to pick things out. And this is the one thing I do vividly remember from this event was that there were those individual like cereal bowls. I don't know, like this is like in the early 90s, but the ones that you would peel off the top, it was like plastic and you pour the milk right in it. And I don't know, I always thought they were super cool. And they had them there, and I kept looking at them like, Mom, can we get those? I want one of those. And she kept telling me no. Now, as an adult, I totally understand why, and we'll get that in a minute, but really, that was the only thing I remembered. But I remember leaving, and we had bags of food from there. Fast forward many, many years, but like I said, I had this distinct memory in my mind of this moment, of this event happening as a child. Fast forward to when I'm about 16 years old, and I'm on a Holy Week retreat in the city of Buffalo, and I'm sent to a food bank to help out. So we get there, it's before they open, they go in and explain to us what it does, and then they start to explain the process of how their food bank works, which is that people get to walk around like it's a store and pick out items. Now the items are numbered by how many people are in those households. So if you have a household of 3, you can grab certain amounts of items. If you have more, you get the picture. And as I'm sitting there and they're explaining it to me, I have this flashback of this thing that happened to me as a child. That happened so long ago. I mean, we're talking 11 years before this. And just having such gratitude that as a child, I didn't realize where we were. That I just thought we were getting food and I had no clue what was going on, but I thought it was kind of fun. We got to pick stuff out, but that honoring of the human, of honoring the fact that people who need help are in a position where they have to ask for it, it can be very hard, and especially for children who don't understand what's going on. And I just remember having such gratitude. And at this point, things still were really complicated in my life. But in my heart, I just always felt like I'm so grateful. And someday I want to be able to do something even more than coming and volunteering. Um, Emotional when I talk about this because it was a really long journey in my life. So fast forward to this actual past couple of days. On Halloween morning, I'll insert a picture here or here. I had the opportunity to go help prepare items that were going to be given out at a food bank. And then I got home the other day and there was a note on my door from the Boy Scouts that they were doing their annual food bank collection. And so I just filled up 2 bags full of groceries. I did post a video about my grocery haul. I talk a little bit about it there, but I have such gratitude now that I'm in a place to help that little girl. That I lived through. And, during the holiday seasons, especially when kids are home more, the need for food is so much greater. And especially now that if people are having to do virtual learning again because of everything going on in the world, I just really, really want to encourage everyone to give what they can, help where they can, volunteer if you're not able to give monetarily, donate food if you're able to, do whatever you can to really help out food banks right now because there are so many children in this country who are in the same position that I was in. And I'm so grateful that there was food at times in our cupboards. And I can remember times there wasn't. So that I just wanted to share the story because also to inspire you if you're watching this and you did grow up in a similar situation as me, to know that you can make choices and help pull yourself out of it. And there's a lot of things that could be in your way. I understand that completely. I lived it, trust me. But that I look at my life now and I'm so grateful for it. And I'm so grateful for all the work I put in to be where I'm at today. And I'm also so grateful that I remember what it was like and remember that this is a blessing and it's my job to pay this forward and to give back. So that's my story time. Sorry I got a little emotional. It's really, really close to my heart. So I will also leave in the links below links to Feed America if you're interested in giving monetarily, and also the Food Bank of Central New York, where I'll actually be repacking meat this coming Saturday. So make sure to check out my Instagram and my Facebook page for photos of those things and more information on ways to help. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.